You're listening to A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. I'm your host, Mary Lewis. Today, I'm talking with Erika at Taste the Local Difference. Good morning, Erika. How are you?
Good morning. I am doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you located?
I am in Michigan, just south of Ann Arbor.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to be talking to an old friend on Monday morning for the podcast who lives right near Ann Arbor, so that's kind of funny.
That's great. What a small world.
Yeah, he's a musician, and he's older than me. I'm 55, and I know he's at least 10 years older than I am. So he remembers when music was something you got on records and 8-tracks, and it should be really fun.
Wow, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. I'm excited. So what's the weather like in Michigan this morning?
Thankfully, it is actually pretty beautiful. It has been quite hot and humid lately, so it was nice. I took a nice little walk this morning around my neighborhood, and it does seem to be getting a little bit cooler. But what are you gonna do? It's August. It's pretty normal for this time of year.
Oh, for sure, and it's coming. Fall is coming. I heard geese calling the other day. Some of our maple trees are starting to turn. And that could just be the weather stress, but I really think we might be looking at an earlier fall. So that would be welcome after this very hot summer we've had. I'm in Minnesota, so it's been hot here too.
Yeah, definitely.
When I got up this morning, my husband had opened the kitchen window and the living room windows because our AC is broken. And
oh, goodness.
I was awake at like 4:30 this morning because I get up early, and I got my coffee, and I was sitting in my living room sipping my coffee and scrolling Facebook, as I do. Everybody does these days. And I could hear the crickets chirping because the windows were open. It was just such a lovely way to start my day.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It really was, because usually the windows are closed because the AC is running and you don't want to let the mugginess in when you're running an AC. So there's a blessing to our AC being out. I'm okay with it.
It's true.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself and your role with Taste the Local Difference and what Taste the Local Difference is and what you guys do.
Yeah, so I am the director of impact here.
Which I love. I love that title.
Thanks. I love it too. And so what we do is we do marketing for farms and local food and beverage businesses. And that also encompasses things like agritourism, farmers markets, restaurants, food trucks, etc., distilleries, craft beverage, anything along those lines. And this is our 21st year. So we started in Michigan, but we work with businesses nationwide. We also have Michigan's food and farm directory, which is really cool. And we are just big believers in local food and local food systems, local food economies, and really uplifting the people who grow and make food and beverage, for other folks to enjoy. And so we really like to be able to help them with marketing education and primarily marketing services. So folks can come to us for their websites, their e-commerce, to do full branding. Like if they need, a logo and a brand kit, we do marketing strategy, email marketing setup, social media, pretty much the whole gamut if it's under marketing. And then what my role oversees is I do a lot of the marketing education here as well. So I just was teaching a webinar last night for one of our partners. And we also do what are called food systems impact partnerships. And so I will work with folks that are from like nonprofits, governmental organizations, economic development agencies, universities, et cetera. And we partner with them to help support the folks that they work with. So a lot of times these are organizations that are supporting farmers or small food producers, and they will work with us to help either like subsidize marketing what is called in the industry like technical assistance, which is basically marketing services and or marketing education. So that's what I do. So like right after this, I have a call with somebody who is in Vermont at a nonprofit that helps farmers, and they have a farmer education program. So that call will be all about seeing, if there's a way that we can partner together to help support the folks that they work with.
Okay, since you mentioned that, how much time do you have? Because I don't want to go over.
Till about the half-hour mark.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. Minnesota has a website that they use to promote local produce growers and some makers, actually, people who make baked goods or like soaps or things like that. It's called Minnesota Grown, and it is through the state. So is your thing with Michigan, is it for the state? Is it under the state umbrella?
It is actually not. It is ours, and we've had it for, I don't know how many years now. I know many, many, many years that we have been doing it. We have also put out a local food guide for a very long time. For most of our existence, we put out an annual local food guide. This year is the first year it is all completely digital. And that really goes like hand in hand also with our directory. But the nice thing about our directory is it's entirely free to join, to set up an account. But we run it, we manage it, and we actually have licensees currently in 3 other states, and we are always looking to expand on that as well.
Okay, so is your organization nonprofit?
So interestingly, we started as a nonprofit. So we were born out of a nonprofit that still exists, that we work with on a lot of different projects that are, food systems related still. And then I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago now, for a few reasons, it just made the most sense to to basically move away from that nonprofit formally and become an LLC, because, moving into the world of doing marketing services and a few other things, we wanted to be really like nimble and agile to be able to, flex with the market so that we could serve our clientele really quickly with what they needed. And so, so we are now technically an LLC, but for most of our existence, we were a nonprofit.
Okay, cool. All right. So if someone wants to avail themselves of your services for marketing and all the other things that you mentioned, I need to know if it's affordable for someone to get help from you or if it's not, because a lot of people who are starting small businesses are not flush with cash, as you know.
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that we really try to prioritize is affordability of our services. So when we look through our service offerings and we price them as affordably as we can in order to be able to, metaphorically, as they say, keep the lights on for ourselves.
Sure.
And so, so we really do keep that in mind, because we know the folks that we're working with, a lot of the people who are on our team have either farmed themselves or, been very like adjacent to the world of farming or worked, in like small food industry and things like that. So we definitely get it. We understand. So we keep our services as affordable as possible. Obviously, affordability is a spectrum. So one of the things that we also have a resource for on the site is there is one of our like blog posts is a resource that is about grant funding. And so one of the things that we encourage folks to do, and we do this a lot, is whether it's grants or other alternative forms of funding, such as like micro lending and things like that, is if there are resources near you that you can look into, whether it's through your Chamber of Commerce or economic development agencies, things of that nature, is see if there are programs that you can tap into that might be able to help to subsidize some or all of what you need. So like I said, we partner with a lot of organizations where, let's say, like a small food producer is going through their business boot camp, and then as like a incentive for completing all of that programming, that person gets a stipend to come spend with us. And a lot of those organizations feel comfortable partnering with us because we understand and we are trusted, with like local food specific marketing, right? So we get it. We have a proven track record within the industry. And so they know they can trust their investment in partnering with us if they give us a stipend on behalf of one of their program participants. So that is one option. Another option is if you are applying for a grant or some kind of other like business award, folks can always come to us, talk about services. We can get you a proposal, and then you can use that proposal in your grant, because having a very specific list of services that you are going to use the grant on and a price point and everything helps whoever is, doing the grant, fulfilling the grant, helps them feel more confident that you have actually looked into it and are taking it seriously, rather than just giving some arbitrary number of what you plan to spend on marketing.
Okay, phenomenal. I love that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
no. We love to talk about it. It's not something that we shy away from, because we absolutely get it and we totally understand. And one other thing we have, because we know that for some, it's just that is still not going to be a possibility, or while they are, waiting to hear on funding, there's still things that, they need to do in the meantime, or they're going to want to do, or some folks just really want to DIY, or they really want to have a better understanding of their own marketing. So we have a couple of things. So we have one thing that is a really low cost, but super high quality digital course called Local Food Marketing Academy that folks can go through on their own. So you register and you can go through it, from your own home on your own schedule. It has templates, it has worksheets, it has a lot of things that are going to walk you through the fundamentals of marketing your food business. And then, and that is going to be something, you can go through it again and again and again and really feel comfortable and confident in doing your own marketing on your own. And then another thing that we have that is completely free is we have tons and tons and tons of high quality free resources. So on our website, so localfoodmarketing.com/resources, we have a lot of articles, we have downloadable guides, and we also have all of our past webinars, the recordings, and then any like upcoming webinars we have that you can register for. And so that is something that we are always adding to, and there's tons of good stuff already there. So even if you're like, okay, yes, what you have is affordable in terms of services, but you're still not there yet, we also have alternatives as well, so that you're not stuck waiting in the interim.
I love that. You are making it so that people can get started. And it's so hard to get started when you have this thing, this dream. Our dream was to have a farm to market garden, a big one. And we have that now. And it is, I don't even have words, Erika, for when I look out my living room window and see this beautiful, thriving garden that has managed to support a few people in our community the last 3 years because we sell at the farmers market and we sell from our farm stand on our property. And I didn't have somebody like you, so we had to figure it out ourselves. Luckily, I have some marketing in my background because I worked for a friend who had a marketing and PR company. So I kind of knew how to do it, but a lot of people don't, and they find marketing really scary. And so,
Mm-hmm.
so since I'm talking to you, I have like 3 things that I would say you should do if you're starting a small business to get people to know about it. What are 3 things you would say right off the top of your head?
Yeah, so I would say that it is really, really, really good to, when you're thinking about all of the places like that you could, show up digitally, right? So I was just teaching on this last night, actually. When you are thinking about like your social media platforms, because a lot of times people will set those up first because it's a bit of a lower barrier than trying to figure out how to set up a website. We are huge believers in having websites, but I know people usually will first go to like setting up a Facebook business page and like an Instagram and things like that.
Yep.
Make sure that in your bio that you use all of that space to be very clear about, like what it is that you sell, where are you located, any other info that a potential customer might need. Don't just assume that people will know, right? So take advantage of that, and any like links of places they might be able to find you, shop from you, contact info, whatever the case may be, take advantage of that. The other thing is I would say, let your network know already, right? Don't assume that your friends and the people in your community know. I would, go around and like let people know, let your friends, let people, if you're in clubs or other like groups and things know, tell them about your products, tell them what you're selling, give them little samples or whatever it is that have your contact info or website or ordering info, whatever that might be, so that you can start getting the word out in a really like grassroots kind of way.
Yes.
And then think about ways that you can partner or collaborate with other people or businesses where your target market is already showing up. So rather than having to do a lot of that heavy marketing lift yourself, is kind of go where your people already are and try to get in front of them first. And kind of as a bonus to that, I would really recommend, if getting set up with an email marketing platform. There are some like free ones that you can get, especially if it's, if you're like below a certain amount of people on your list, or very low cost when it's below a certain amount of people, and already getting like, a newsletter sign up going with some welcome emails. And that way, when you're out and about, when you're doing different things, and people can get signed up, they can maybe like get a coupon, and then you can already start capturing that info so that you can re-market to them again and again.
Fabulous. I was not actually going to touch on any of those 3. I was thinking more low key for my things. So here's my things. Are you ready?
Sure.
Number 1, don't forget that you are always the face of your brand.
Mm-hmm.
When you are out in public, or if you are on, let's say, a podcast like I am, always remember that your attitude and your energy about your business is what people are going to react to.
Yes.
Because you cannot be a jerk in public and expect people to want to work with you through your business.
Totally.
That's my first one. You are the representative of your brand. The second thing is yes, tell your friends that you're doing this, because people who love you want to tell other people what you're doing if it's positive.
Mm-hmm.
Always, always talk to your friends. If you meet somebody new and they say, "What do you do?" I always say, well, if I had a jobby job, I don't have a jobby job, but if I had a jobby job, I would say I work at from my day job. But what my passion is, what I love to do is, and this is what I love doing, and I explain it to them. Like, I love my podcast. I could talk for hours about my podcast and people would probably fall asleep. So always, 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 when somebody says, what do you do? Talk about your baby. Talk about your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was a third one. What was it? Always label your stuff with your business name. Get some pre-made stickers with the name of your business name and your website or your phone number or however you want people to get in contact with you, and slap that sticker on everything that goes out the door that somebody takes with them. Because if someone happens to see it, they might, have it stick in their brain and they might be a future customer.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with all of those. And I feel like ours really overlap because I feel like it's the same, like, why I even thought, with social media is like, honestly, if it's like stresses you out, like it's one of those things, like it's not even like necessarily mandatory. It's the thing that I always think to mention, only because it's the thing that people always think about and get really stressed out about. And, but it's also the thing of like, kind of like you said with the labeling, it's the same thing as like using all the digital real estate of the bio, right? It's like you want people to be able to like attach all of the info about you and your product together, right? Wherever they are experiencing you and or your product, like you want them to make that connection so that they can buy it again, right? Or that if they see something and they're like, that looks interesting, that they know where they can find it, that kind of a thing. So,
yep, exactly. So if you blend what you said and what I say, or I said, you've got a pretty good marketing plan right there. It's just a matter of knowing how to do it.
Definitely. And I know we have a really cool, I don't know exactly what date this episode's going to go live, but in about a month from the day that we're recording this, so on September 17th, we have a totally free webinar that is essentials for an effective holiday season. And honestly, even though the focus on this is going to be holiday, this is going to help you year round. But Q4 tends to be a really, I don't want to say easy selling time for food businesses. It's not necessarily easy on the entrepreneur. It's very busy on the entrepreneur, but it's typically an easier time to get people to buy because people are anticipating spending money anyways. So we want to really make sure that folks are set up for success. And so it's entirely free. It's on localfoodmarketing.com/webinars. You can register there. And in case you're listening to this after that date and it's already passed, again, all of our recorded past webinars are on localfoodmarketing.com/resources. And then just scroll down to the webinar section and it will be there.
Do you happen to know how many webinars are listed there?
A lot. I could look. Let's see. And it's I know we have actually, you know what? It goes to it pops over to our YouTube channel as well. So if you are somebody that likes to hang on YouTube, that is where they all populate to as well. Okay. If you just look up Taste the Local Difference on YouTube, they'll be there. But yeah, we have like we have one on agritourism. That was one that we did. And that was recent. That was really great. One that is farmers market focused, building a website. branding, AI marketing. We have a lot. There are quite a lot. And that doesn't even include our downloadable guides and then just our other like blog post type articles that we've written. So plenty of good stuff. It's really a priority for us to have high quality free resources for folks too.
I love that, Erika. If you are a small business looking for information on how to market your business, you need to go to Taste the Local Difference and check out all the free resources. And then if you need more help, you can always hire them to help you further. Erika, I don't want to keep you too long, and we're at like 25 minutes. So tell me the places that people can find you the easiest online. I mean, you've said it, but say it again, please.
Yeah, so truly the best place is if you go to localfoodmarketing.com. That is going to have everything there. It's going to have the resources. It's going to have a list of some of our services, like a few examples of our past work. It's going to have more info on our impact partnerships, that work that my role oversees. And then it also has a place on there to fill out a marketing inquiry form. So what that is you just put in a little bit of info and then it sends an email to our team. And then one of us, within a few business days, we will get in touch with you and we can set up, a phone call or a video meeting, and we can talk about, your business, your goals, services that might be helpful. We can put together a proposal for you. There are no strings attached. It's totally free to chat with one of us about some services and to just get a no obligation quote. And we would love to chat with you.
Erika, thank you so much for your time today. You and your business are an invaluable service to people like me and my neighbor who has goats and a garden and duck eggs for sale. And hi, Tracy, she listens to the podcast all the time. And I love what you're doing. And I know that it's not free, but you are providing a service that a lot of people need and they don't even realize that it's out there for them. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. We love doing it. Like I said, our primary goal is, uplifting local farms and food producers, and it's why we do what we do, and we absolutely love being able to do it.
Great. All right. As always, people can find me at atinyhomesteadpodcast.com. Erika, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope your webinar gets filled up really big.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. Bye.